Hello fellow megatenists and welcome to my first video of 2020. The January edition of Fusion Accidents. Sorry haven't uploaded in a while, but I'm back! Recently, Persona Central published an article regarding the re-establishing of the Atlus recruitment website. For those unaware, Atlus has been trying to push beyond its days of being a smaller, niche game company and become somewhat of a beast. They've mentioned in this article that Atlus averages around 23 hires per year since 2016. So to put that in perspective, in 2014 Atlus had 121 employees, and in 2019 it was over 300. And a major player in this has been their heavy-handed promotion of their recruitment campaigns. During one of them, Atlus released this statement. Atlus plans to increase the number of major positions at their company, such as planners, programmers, and designers, in order to achieve a stable sales goal of 1 million units annually. So, suffice to say, they are trying to hit the big leagues. Couple that with the pre-existing drama and common ideations regarding Atlus not caring about SMT, or Atlus perceivably screwing over Kazuma Kaneko. Or somehow the conspiracy theory that Atlus is purposely neglecting games like Persona 1 and 2, and you've come to the latest drama. Atlus doesn't care about Jack Frost now! The rationale is this video. A 44-second video showcasing various Atlus developed or produced titles throughout their time as a header, specifically one of 5 headers, featured prominently on their website for recruitment. This has drawn the ire of the Western fanbase because it doesn't reflect their entire body of work. And even worse, Morgana is the face of the video, over Jack Frost. I can sympathize with this concern. The same thing happened when Persona 4 was the reigning face of Atlus, and Teddy was everywhere. And that was a pretty unprecedented change in Atlus's corporate identity. Prior to the release of Persona 4, Jack Frost was featured prominently pairing with any and all Atlus related content. But Teddy was made to be a mascot, and soon they didn't have a Jack Frost vending machine only, no. Now there was also a Teddy vending machine. Teddy ended up being featured in the holiday cards and their New Year's cards, and there was a mascot suit made in the likeness of Teddy. Now skip ahead a little bit of years and there's a new kid on the block, Morgana. The explosive popularity of Persona 5 meant that the character designed to be a mascot ended up joining the ranks of Atlus's growing roster of mascot characters. Now we had a Morgana vending machine, Morgana holiday and New Year's cards, and a Morgana mascot suit. So what gives? Well, in my opinion, nothing. Atlus seems to know that having a standout, marketable character that can be merchandised is a genius move. The video sparked some misguided outrage, based on a history of fearing SMT is being ignored, Persona 1 and 2 is being neglected, and Jack Frost is being phased out. But is this really a valid concern? SMT is not being ignored. We already know this. Atlus is working on SMT 5, and it's a grand undertaking, one that'll cost more than ever before. There's a new engine to learn, there's a new console to learn, and expectations that Atlus's products will be top-notch from here on out means that Atlus also wants to elevate this game to be better than its previous games, such as Persona 5. And I quote, "Currently, things related to the 25th anniversary have calmed down, and we're focusing on the development of Shin Megami Tensei 5. Because it's a title that will not be released for some time, I want to develop it thoroughly without compromise. Kazuyuki Yamai, December 2017, Weekly Famitsu." As for Jack Frost being phased out, he's been included alone in the 2020 New Year's card, and he's still receiving a slew of merch. He's even featured pretty consistently in the Persona 5 Strikers footage, unfortunately. I think they are doing their best to capitalize on the current known entity, and that's not an indicator of anything besides possibly a short-sighted view of the audience on Atlus's part. Remember those vending machines? There's also a Studio Zero vending machine. As for the purpose of the video, it's just a corporate video. It's not meant for fans. It's meant to help potential employees understand Atlus's corporate identity. Sure, it's not necessarily wise for them to use Morgana and Catherine as the most observed figures in the 44-second clip, in my opinion, but it's also a video not meant for the fans, like I said. The other complaint about insert game here not being included probably comes down to the video only being less than a minute long. I mean, it's not meant to be an in-depth overview of the company, it's meant to be a snapshot of the corporate identity. So why? Why is everyone misunderstanding? I partially blame Persona Central's headline. Atlus launches updated recruitment site, features company overview, offers pictures, special game retrospective video. That's a pretty clickbait title, and for the modern consumer of information who oftentimes doesn't click the article but only reads the headline, and all they have is the headline and the video itself. Looking at the model of Morgana, it's pretty clear that they wanted to do this cheap. They used some pre-existing tools and threw it all together. How venomous of them to save some dough by recycling. The rest of the blame goes towards anyone who clicks the article and still comes up to the conclusion that there's some dubious shenanigans afoot. Looking at the Target career site, am I supposed to be mad that they don't have the Target dog on the site? You know, mascot and everything. Context matters. Yeah, it's not the end of the world for a promo video for potential employees to not include your favorite game or Jack Frost. It's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that Jack Frost is going to be eschewed and removed from Atlus's corporate identity. It just means that right now they want people for Studio 2, which is Studio 0, and Studio 3, which is P Studio. That's my take on it, based on what I've looked at from the actual website. I would recommend that people actually read articles instead of jumping to conclusions. I would recommend that people actually click the sources before jumping to conclusions. A cursory search on the website itself, even if using Google Translate, makes it pretty abundantly clear that Jack Frost is still pretty important. He's featured in some of the statistics. You see him featured with the president and with the executive officer of human resources in very adorable footage of them standing proud next to him and then looking at him lovingly. It's not the end of the world. This is a sort of weird jumping to conclusions that's kind of bizarre to me. I've seen this represented on Twitter most prominently with big figures of the Persona fan base blatantly getting mad when they didn't actually read the article. Read the article, guys. Read articles. Also, like I said, click the sources. You should never just jump to conclusions based on the title, because there could be other context. It really matters. If this video was uploaded onto Atlus's website for fans to look at, and it was titled a retrospective, I would be very upset because it's not representative of the entire Atlus body of work if it's called a retrospective video. Atlus didn't call it that. Persona Central called it that. So, in conclusion, this is a Fusion accident where the accident is everyone not doing due diligence, whether it's Persona Central titling the article something that doesn't lead to this misunderstanding, whether it's people who are prominent in the fan base clicking and posting this article with very little context and also reiterating ideas that don't really make sense when you actually look at the context of the article or the video. And it also goes that everyone should just read. That's it for today. That's it for this video. Thank you, fellow megatenists, and goodbye.